Hey everyone, I'm Gavin, and this is Back to Bush Outdoors. And in today's episode, we will be building out the back of the Tacoma into a camper. And things go along pretty well here, and test it out with Frankly overnight. So enjoy, guys. Okay guys, so we're inside the back of the Tacoma here, and as you gathered, I'm putting down some insulation on the ground before I do the build out. So how I'm going to do that is basically here in the corners, I'm going to measure the distance off of that wall, and which will give me the depth of this from there to there. Then what I'm going to do is I'll either cut a block that exact distance, and then I'll hold it up to the side here, and I'll bring it out, and I'll bring it all the way around and all the way back in. And so what that will do will essentially transfer that shape directly all the way down and then back down, and then I can fit this piece in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I think I'm going to cut a block. So I'm going to have to set up a saw, and I'll get this measurement. And then yeah, I'll create a block, and then I'll come back in. I'll show you how we're going to template that. Incidentally, in the first section of the video, you saw me cut the foam, and then I put the tailgate up first. So there's a little tiny lip here that's on the tailgate. If you don't compensate for that, is that your foam or your plywood bottom is going to be too long, and then you're going to have to cut it down. So it's always good to close it, make a mark, and then measure to that mark off of the ribs on the other side, and that will give you your closed depth. Okay, so I just happen to have a piece that was exactly 5.5 inches, and that's what the offset distance is from the face of this to the face of this. There's going to be some discrepancy just because of the storage box, this section here, by about 1/2 inch or so. Not super concerned about that, to tell you the truth. I may cut it in around that. I don't think I'm probably going to. I'm going to have to cut it in around the back there. So we'll see. Maybe I will. Yeah, the other side's the same, so I probably will. Anyway, so take your piece, 5.5 inches. Make sure this is snug up against the inside of the wheel well, and then yeah, so you're going to transcribe. I think I may have done that in error. So what I'm running into is basically where this angle starts here and runs up. If you look down, it is perfectly parallel. However, the depth from here to the end, I think that there's a problem there. Because if you look at that, that's about 25 inches to where this starts. This is only about 24.5. I think I know what I need to do. I think I need to measure this distance to this distance, which is about 24. Measure from here to there is 18. So we'll go 18. 24 from there. So yeah, so it looks like, okay, so this is correct. The offset distance here is correct. This angle is correct. However, the end point where it goes to the inside of the radius here, this isn't correct if you do an offset of about 5.5 inches. It looks more like the offset is going to be about 3 3/4 to 4. So, assuming when I run these down in parallel, so I'll keep this line parallel with this line. That line parallel with that line, so it looks like it's about an inch and an eighth, inch and a quarter difference from that parallel line. It's still parallel with this, and this looks like it's now going to line up with the inside radiuses here. So this offset's 5.5 inches, and it looks like this offset is going to be somewhere around, yeah, it's basically an inch and an eighth. Yeah, it's closer to an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. We're going to fit it in. We'll have to probably round out the radiuses. I'm not terribly concerned about it being super tight to the corners. This is just an extra layer of sort of insulation, but I'm also going to use these as the templates for the plywood, so I want to make sure that they're correct. Okay, so this has actually turned out pretty good. I would probably do 1.25 inch difference between the 5.5 inches. So end up doing what was that, 4.25? Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So 1.25 inches offset from that 5.5 back, so 4.25. That seems to look pretty good. There's a little bit of a tolerance around there, which I already knew that there was going to be. This is definitely pushing it off of the side. So I might mess around with that for a little bit, just to see if I can get that a little tiny bit tighter. All I got to do now is measure this up, and then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to measure that strip up, and then my 4x8 sheets of plywood. I think how it's really going to happen is that this one piece will be attached to just one side, and so it's not going to be perfectly symmetrical, but I want them 2 individual pieces just so they're easier to remove, so I can put it in all by myself and take it out all by myself. So get this measured up, cut this strip, and yeah, then we'll start on the plywood. Okay, so this came together pretty well. What I decided to do was, this will be the sleeping side. I'm not going straight across. I'm just having a single bunk, and then up in the corner, I'm going to construct a secondary sort of bunk that will be removable, and that's actually for Frankly, the dog. And when he's not with me, I'm going to remove that, and then I'm going to build some shelves in on this side. And so there'll be sort of a little tiny small little walkway, and then some shelves and stuff up on this side. So I'm just going to finish up the other side here. We'll get this in, and then I'm going to start figuring out the bunk on this side with the storage underneath. And then I have to modify one of the sides here to be able to take the diesel heater controller down through one of these boxes, and then I'm going to create a temporary window fitting to be able to pump the heat in, and then also a return as well to be able to sustain the heat when it's running at minimum, because I've run into problems with that as of recent. bit of a problem. Those tie-down brackets at the end are pushing out about, I don't know, a little tiny bit more than an 1/8 of an inch or so. And so it's not lining up. So I'm going to pull these out. I'm going to go in there, mark them, then we'll clip those down and we'll stick them back in. Okay, so now on to the bed. Okay guys, so looks like the depth looks like everything's going to fit in good. Looks like there's going to be a bunch of good storage there, but we are going to have to cut ourselves around here. So I'm just going to take up some measurements here and see if I can get the angle correct, and we'll see if we can get that cut and see if we can get that snugged in. And then once that's in, I'm going to do a retainer strip on this side going all the way down, and then yeah, on to sort of building the cabinetry. Okay, so I'm going to build another platform. This one's going to be much simpler. Just going to cut I think this is, I think what slots into here are 1-inch boards. I'll have to double check. And I'm just going to bring that across, put a little cleat on this side, and cut a piece of 3/4 inch ply that will go from the wheel well back to the back, and then onto this side. And that will essentially be for when Frankly's out camping with me. And then when he's not, that won't be there, and I'm going to build some sort of cabinetry against this far wall.
Okay, so I lost a section here of video. I didn't realize the battery had run out, and so I assembled the drawer, and pretty simple, just, you know, screw it, make it together, leave a little bit of a tolerance on the left and right, and on the top and bottom, and Bob's your uncle.
Okay, so we're settled in here for the night. Frank's on his bed. Seems like he's going to be pretty happy. There is a lot less room in here than I thought. So, it'd be great for sleeping. But as for doing anything else in here, I'm really not too sure what else you could actually do. Either way, heater's going, and I'll check back in with you guys here in a little tiny bit and let you know how it's going. How you doing, Frank? Good boy? Good boy? Okay, guys, we're getting ready to head to bed. Frank looks like he's pretty cuddled in here. He's still a little bit odd because this is our first time out. Anyway, long story short is the build went really well. Insulation seems to be working fantastic. Diesel heater seems to be working great, and yeah, it's seems to be going really good. So see you guys in the morning.
Okay, so this was at about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. The heater went out, and I've had this error before, and I'm still trying to figure it out. If anyone knows, maybe they can leave a comment below and let me know what they think's going on. I think it might be the exhaust, because I have too many bends in it, apparently.
Okay, guys, well, it was the first night in the truck. Seemed like it went pretty well. It got pretty freaking warm in here. I had a little bit of an issue with the diesel heater last night. Same issues I had before, where when I set it on low, it shut itself down. So I'm gonna look into that more. I think that it possibly has to do with the exhaust. I'm not too sure. Hi, Frank. Not too sure if Frank had a good night, but he seemed like he slept okay, so I'm not too sure. Okay, Frankie? You okay? I'm not too sure. Anyway, so yeah, gonna get dressed and get out of here.
Thanks for watching Back to Bush Outdoors.